And is there any correlation, Clive, between, the more successful entrepreneurs that you've seen and the sort of academic journey that they've been on, or anything that they've added to their academic journey that people on the call today might be thinking about and saying, well, what else can I do to position myself if and when the time does come that I need to go out on a sort of an entrepreneurial limb, so to speak? What are some of the sort of reading or preparation or books or courses or topics or people that you would maybe recommend that they follow, which has in your experience actually mattered and made a difference? I'm not talking about the fluff and the hype and all the rest of it, but the real valuable insights and people that they can look to.
I think, it's a great question, Peter. I think what I would always propose to people, I call it a T-type entrepreneur. So the T, which is the horizontal thing at the top there, it means you need to start with an organization where you're going to learn a little bit about product development, about marketing, sales, finance, ops, graph, UI, tech, product development, everything. So you learn that horizontal line. That's the vertical line is what your degree is. You might be an actuary, you might be an accountant, you might be a lawyer, you might be an engineer, whatever you might be. But you just having that vertical line is not enough. That's okay for a corporate, because corporates will hire actuaries to do actuarial work. Corporates will hire engineers to do engineering work. And that's why I think the likes of where Peter and I were at, the Accentures or the McKinseys or the Bains or the Deloitte's, those sort of companies, I think consulting companies give you a very good opportunity to get those horizontal skills, that you don't want to become a specialist too early. You want to become a generalist. So I would advise anyone that's wants to be an entrepreneur one day, find an organization or find a person within an organization that's going to enable you to learn those horizontal skills. Because if you're going to a startup, you have to know a little bit about everything. You need wide, a mile wide but inch deep type of skills, opposed to mile deep. Because most people in corporates, and you've seen them, they really are mile deep come in, and they become specialists. And the problem with specialists, you'll get to a level very quickly, you'll earn R1 million a year, but you'll never climb above that. That's when you reach your ceiling, if that's all you can do. What being in the horizontal also teaches you is about leadership, about management, about project management, all those things that I think, we came up from Accenture days and we got that in spades, about how many people we led, how much we learned from leadership. Leadership is a critical skill. I always say entrepreneurs, you're an entrepreneur when you start your business. It's very, it's small, it's agile, but as you mature into a 20, 30, 50, 100 people company, you need to change from being the entrepreneur to being the leader. So you get work done through others. You set the vision and others do the work, opposed to you trying to do the work yourself. So I think, just to summarize, any organization where you can not just be seen as a specialist and get hired as a specialist, but go in there where you can learn to get generalist skills. Get those generalist skills, and I believe that will position you very, very well for entrepreneurship. In addition to that, go back to Peter's question, the books out there, you can turn your car into the automobile university, the audio tapes, your YouTube clips. You need to listen to that stuff. You don't have to go to Harvard today to learn about entrepreneurship. You don't have to go to Silicon Valley and Sand Hill Road to learn about venture capital. There's so much good stuff in Udemy on all these. There's so many platforms, and typically for free, where you can actually teach yourself. And maybe it's buying a couple of Kindle books for $10 in entrepreneurship. Yes, those books are great, but you also need to get out there and do entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is action. You can't learn how to ride a bike by sitting in a classroom. You got to get on the bike, you got to fall off a few times, scratch your knee, scrape your knee, hurt yourself, cry a few times, and then you'll learn how to ride that bike. And entrepreneurship is no different. It's action. So go and get some good years experience under your belt. You don't need 28 like I did. Believe me, you don't need that. Don't go there. I would not advise anyone to do that, because you are the future. You are the future employees of this country, and you're the future of going to turn this country around and take our 40% unemployment and bring it down to a better level of employment. So I know there was quite a few questions Peter asked there, but I hope I've answered some of those questions.
No, Clive, and I mean, your last comment there is just something that's so close to my heart, and part of the motivation of why I've tried to get the Student Success Coach community going, because I just want to create a safe space where students can feel encouraged and lift their gaze and look to that vision, as you say, of getting our economy booming again, through the SME environment, through becoming employers of people, not always relying on the corporate environment. It's just shuffling jobs around the place. There's no net growth necessarily. It's only through, as that scenario planner, what is his name, always used to say, the high road and the low road. Clem Sunter, he always used to say the high road for South Africa, is that job creation role that the small businesses play.